Hi everyone, welcome to Draw with Jan channel. Today we are going to draw human lips. I have used Carandanche color pencils for this. It is a pack of 76 colored pencils. However, if you do not have this, please use any color pencils that you have. The more shades you have, the better, because otherwise you'll have to do a lot of layering to get the right shade. Let's get started. Start with an outline for the lip. You can use the reference image here to create an outline for the lip. I'm using rose here to create a base layer for the lip. Now using scarlet red for the next layer of coloring. Focus on the highlights and the shadows as you're shading. To create highlights, try and leave the space blank because sometimes it is difficult to go back later and erase those portions to create the desired effect. For shadows or darker shades, there is a natural tendency to just apply pressure on the pencil to get the desired effect, but please do not do that as it might spoil the surface of the paper. Instead, go over your coloring multiple times to produce the desired effect. Now this part of the lip is where you see a lot of highlights. It is better to get in all those highlights now at this point while you're shading. Using black now to create the shadow effect between the lips. And as you're shading, make sure you're focusing on the teeth too. I'm now using burnt ochre for the first layer of the skin. Using a darker shade of burnt ochre for the shading. And as you're shading, focus on the highlights and the shadows. I'm now using a darker shade of red. We're basically going to repeat the same thing. Define those outlines clearly, create those highlights and shadows as you move along. Pay attention to those minute details as you shade. That's what is going to differentiate your drawing. And also it'll help you bring in more realism to your drawing. I'm now layering it with an even darker shade. You can use shades like Crimson Aubergine or Perylene Brown for this. Bring out those highlights clearly as you shade. Also using some blending techniques here, using a lighter shade of red. This is the part where you have a lot of highlights, so be careful as you shade here. Try to be as precise as possible with your strokes to bring out the highlights nicely. We're just going to fill this part with a nice shade of red. using crimson aubergine for the shading. I'm now using a blender that comes with the Carandanche color pencil pack. It is a colorless pencil that allows you to blend two or more colors together. It gives a really soft finish to your drawing. You can also use cotton buds or tissue papers if you do not have a pencil blender. Using a shade of gray for the teeth. Back to the next layer of shading, defining the outlines more clearly. Just making those strokes bolder and bolder. Adding depth to the coloring. using a dark shade of brown. For the next layer of shading, this is to define the lines very clearly and also bring out the highlights and the shadows more clearly. Using red to blend in the colors. From now on, it's all about defining the details in your drawing. I'm going to be using red, aubergine and dark brown for the shading. No new techniques, using the same techniques throughout the shading. And what follows is a time-lapse video of me completing this drawing. For the final touches, I'm using a white marker to create the highlights. Adding some finishing touches to the skin, and that's it.